Naoufal F, better known as Noffel, was not just another street criminal. He was one of the most feared and calculated men in the Dutch underworld. His name echoed through prisons, clubs, and back alleys. Always whispered, never shouted. People said when Noffel wanted someone gone, it was only a matter of time. Noffel was born and raised in Amsterdam's Moroccan community. Like many children in poor neighborhoods, he grew up surrounded by crime, drugs, and broken families. Life was tough, and he learned quickly that to survive, you had to be smart and ruthless. From a young age, people noticed Noffel was different. He wasn't loud or flashy like other boys. He observed quietly, always calculating. He had a natural ability to organize people and control situations. That intelligence would later make him a powerful man in the criminal world. Noffel started small: petty thefts, street fights, and drug dealing. He built connections with other young men trying to make fast money. But Noffel never wanted to stay small. He saw the bigger game: international drug trafficking. In his late teens, Noffel met men connected to the Macro Mafia, a loose network of Moroccan-Dutch criminals who were smuggling cocaine from South America through Dutch ports. They liked Noffel's cool temper and intelligence. Soon, he was working for them. He started by helping move small shipments of cocaine and handling cash. But Noffel was ambitious. He studied how the trade worked: the routes, the payments, the corrupt port workers. Within years, he knew the entire system. The older Dutch gangs were losing control. The new Moroccan-Dutch generation, including Noffel, was taking over. They were younger, faster, and more connected internationally. The Macro Mafia became a new power in Amsterdam's underworld, and Noffel was right at the center. One of Noffel's most important relationships was with Ridouan Taghi, the man who would later be called the most dangerous criminal in the Netherlands. The two shared the same vision: power, money, and total control of the cocaine trade. Noffel helped build a network that stretched from Morocco to Dubai and South America. He handled logistics, communication, and enforcement. He was known for being calm, smart, and deadly when necessary. His reputation grew fast. People feared Noffel not because he shouted, but because he didn't have to. If someone betrayed him, they disappeared. His method was clean, professional, and cold. He didn't kill for emotion, only for control. Around 2012, things began to fall apart. A large shipment of cocaine disappeared, and blame started flying. Different gangs accused each other of theft. What started as an argument turned into a full-blown war, and Noffel was right in the middle of it. When the powerful gangster Gwinnett Martha was murdered in 2014, suspicion pointed to Noffel and his side of the Macro Mafia. The streets exploded with violence. It was revenge after revenge. No one was safe anymore. Amsterdam became a battlefield. Gunmen attacked people in daylight. Expensive cars exploded. The public was terrified. Every week, someone connected to the gangs was killed. It was no longer just organized crime. It was war. While chaos consumed the city, Noffel's power increased. He stayed out of sight, rarely using phones, and communicated only through trusted messengers. He knew how to survive a storm: by staying silent. Noffel was connected to a network of hitmen operating in the Netherlands and abroad. When he wanted someone gone, he didn't act personally. Orders were passed quietly through layers of men, money, and encrypted messages. In 2015, gangster Lucas Boom, once Gwinnett's ally, was shot dead in broad daylight. Police later linked the killing to Noffel's side. It was another move in a long list of silent executions that kept his enemies terrified. Dutch police had been watching the killings closely. Every time, they found whispers of Noffel's name. He became their main target. But catching him was difficult. He was always one step ahead, moving between countries with fake identities. Noffel traveled constantly: Morocco, Spain, Ireland, and Dubai. He avoided cameras, used multiple passports, and lived under different names. He didn't trust hotels, phones, or friends. He lived in paranoia, always expecting betrayal. Authorities later discovered that Noffel had connections to Irish organized crime groups. He worked with them in drug distribution and money laundering. His reach was no longer just Dutch, it was European. Unlike many gangsters, Noffel wasn't reckless. Every move was calculated. Every murder served a purpose. He used fear as a tool to build discipline within his organization. One wrong step, and consequences followed. By 2016, European law enforcement had gathered enough evidence linking Noffel to multiple assassinations. They began hunting him across countries. The Netherlands issued an international warrant for his arrest. Noffel went underground. He moved from safe house to safe house, using people loyal to him. He paid well for protection, but he knew loyalty never lasted forever. His circle became smaller, his world darker. While hiding in Ireland, Noffel made a mistake. He used a phone number that authorities had already linked to him. Investigators tracked his location through encrypted messages. Within days, they knew where to find him. In 2016, police raided an apartment in Dublin and captured Noffel. He didn't resist. Calm and quiet, he simply said, "You were bound to catch me one day." For the first time, the man who caused chaos across Amsterdam was behind bars. After long legal battles, Noffel was extradited to the Netherlands. His return caused tension. People feared that his arrest would spark new revenge killings. Even inside prison, he was still powerful. Prosecutors accused him of ordering multiple assassinations, including the killing of Lucas Boom. Witnesses described how Noffel coordinated murders through encrypted BlackBerry phones. His calm face in court hid the coldness within. The trial was like a movie. Heavy police guards surrounded the building. Journalists filled every seat. Noffel sat quietly, never showing fear. He looked straight at the judges, as if daring them to decide his fate. The police presented phone data, financial records, and witness testimony. Everything pointed to Noffel's involvement in organized murders and international drug trafficking. His defense claimed it was all lies, but few believed it. In 2018, the court found Noffel guilty of ordering the murder of Lucas Boom and other criminal activities. He was sentenced to life in prison. The man who once ruled through fear would now spend his life behind walls. When news of the sentence spread, some celebrated, saying Amsterdam could finally breathe again. But others feared the silence. Because when big bosses fall, new ones always rise to replace them. Even in prison, Noffel's name remained linked to Ridouan Taghi, who was still free at the time. The two were said to have coordinated parts of the gang war together. Police suspected their alliance was behind many unsolved murders. To break the network, police turned to Crown witnesses, former gang members who testified in exchange for protection. These men revealed the brutal inner workings of Noffel's organization, exposing years of hidden crimes. Noffel's name appeared repeatedly in the massive Marengo trial, where Taghi and others faced murder charges. Together, their stories became the symbol of how far organized crime had grown inside the Netherlands. In prison, Noffel kept his silence. He read, exercised, and rarely spoke. Even guards said he never lost his cold composure. He remained respected, even feared, among inmates who called him the ghost boss. Even while locked away, Noffel's influence lived on. His old connections continued working in the shadows. Some still sent him money. The Underworld remembered him as a man who never showed fear, not even at the end. Years after his arrest, many people still refuse to speak his name publicly. They say he still has loyal men outside who could take revenge. The legend of Noffel became stronger than the man himself. Noffel's story showed how intelligence without conscience can destroy everything. He built an empire from the streets, but it was built on blood. In the end, every victory he won brought him closer to his downfall. Families of his victims still cry. Many innocent lives were lost in the wars he helped start. For them, his arrest was not justice, it was only the end of one chapter in a long story of pain. Today, police use his story in schools and documentaries to warn young people about crime. They show that even the smartest criminals end the same way, behind bars or in a grave. Noffel's name no longer fills the news, but his shadow still hangs over Amsterdam's underworld. His rise and fall remind everyone that in the world of crime, fear may buy you loyalty, but it never buys you peace.